Hey guys, it's Ravenflower. It's good to be back. I have had a trip, boy, let me tell you. We went all over the place. We drove from San Antonio, stayed in Phoenix overnight, then continued on to Long Beach, jumped on a cruise for 4 days to Catalina Island in Ensenada, Mexico. Then came back to Long Beach, stayed on the Queen Mary. I hope you guys have seen that video because I've had to rewatch it a couple of times, and there's definitely orbs flying all around us, and I didn't see it on my phone. So seeing it on the computer with a big screen made a big difference for me. But check out that video if you haven't already. After Queen Mary, we did LA tourism stuff with my older sister and I, and apparently the cat is mad about something. Oh, we have a mama kitty and two little kittens outside. And so Guinness, my indoor house cat, the only male we have, is very upset at the fact that there's more cats outside. But mama kitty and babies won't let us touch her or anything. So we just give them food and water and, go about the business. Okay, back to the matters at hand. So we did LA tourism. So we went to the Mann's Chinese Theater, Griffith Park Observatory, Griffith Park Observatory. And then also, so I said Mann's Chinese Theater, Hollywood Walk of Fame, saw the Hollywood sign, went to Pink's Hot Dogs. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but it's like one of the oldest hot dog stands, and it's been in lots of movies and stuff like that. Venice Beach, Malibu, Santa Barbara, and then we made our way up to Solvang and then up to the canyon where we stayed with my dad for a little while, and then came back down and did Universal Studios at the hottest day of the freaking year in California. So it was it was 109 at one point when I looked at my phone, but it was miserable. But we went on every water ride we could, and my mom and I and my daughter were like sticking our heads in the sink in the bathroom just to try to get our head wet because it was so ridiculously hot. From then we stayed the night, and we saved up all of our hotel points. And got to stay at this really swanky, wanky hotel in West Hollywood, right? And it backs up to the Hollywood Hills, or the West Hollywood Hills, so you can see basically stars' homes or people that have very fabulous homes, which was pretty groovy as well. It was called the Andaz. It was neat, and let me tell you, their bath products are amazing. What are we doing now over here? Can you see this? Okay. Guinness, what are you doing? What you need to get in the witchy cabinet? What do you need from there? Meow? You said meow. He has to get in the witchy cabinet. Have you noticed we have not unpacked yet? We're still in the process. There's wine that I got from Ensenada. Delicious. Yummy, yummy. All right. So I wanted to do a video I've got one half of the table as a haul video for stuff that I've gotten around the trip. And then I have the other half of the table for stuff that came from the mountain specifically. The mountain is a big deal for our family. My grandmother had been up there, and then my aunts and uncles, and now my dad owns the property, and he also works this wonderful ranch. If you haven't seen that video, please tune in because you're gonna love it. If you are a witchy fan and an herby witch and just looking for peace and tranquility, that is the place. You can look it up online. It's called the Dent House, DENT house.com. Look it up. You can see all the beautiful things that they have there, or you can watch my video and I kind of give you a tour there too. But I had said that my dad and my stepmom had put away some stuff. My grandmother had passed away about 3 years ago. It's been, and she was a light healer, and I had no idea what that was. And I came into the family at 26 because my dad and I were estranged. My mom basically hid me and didn't let him know that she was pregnant, and so sure enough, I grew up without my dad, and then found him through 1-800-US search and called everybody on the list that they gave me until I found my dad. So I didn't grow up with grandma, so I didn't have a close connection. Now that she's passed on, and I have unlocked my third eye, if you will. I seem to have a pretty intense relationship with her, and so she tells me all different kinds of things. It was sort of amazing being in her home, being in her room, being able to go through her books that I'm about to show you. So little tidbits, little feelings that aren't my own. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's like I'm having a conversation with somebody in my mind, and I know I sound nuts, but others that are, is this clairvoyance? I'm not sure what this is, but anyway, I do have a connection with my grandma, and so she will talk to me. She's like, oh, pick up that book. You need that one. Oh, you need this. Don't use that rock, but do use this herb. So it's a guidance, if you will, and it's very much appreciated. So here is the stuff from Grandma's place. My dad and my stepmom put all this stuff out. We've got all kinds of stuff. Teas, apparently. I need tea. I think this was something that my mom just threw in because she's like, here, you like tea? Have some tea. And then all of these books. And there's a few more over here, and also like some celestial wisdom cards, things like that. So let's go over some. And I apologize for the way I look, but I mean, I'm freshly clean. I did shower. This is clean hair you're seeing here. But I did not put on any makeup. So I did wash my face. I have cleansed. I have exfoliated, and I have moisturized. But this is me Saturday morning, and I hope you like it. I will put on makeup some other day, but we have stuff to do. So the first one that I want to tell you about, I freaking loved. I saw it immediately, but check this out. Tell me, let's see, how old is this book? 1981. Look at Llewellyn's Practical Guide to the Development of Psychic Powers. Awesome. Love it. I can't wait to read this one. Tidbits and wonderfulness. Excited about that one. Another one was, this is New York Times bestselling author Lynn V. Andrews' Medicine Woman. This one also looks good. And if any of you have read these books, then please let me know what your take is on it. But there's some nice illustrations in there. My dad really associates with the wolf. So he refers to our family as the wolf pack. So, and you can see here, this is pretty awesome. And I just love this. Oh, I can't really show it to you. You'll see people's names. But here's my grandma. So my grandma writes in here, September 10th, 1987, Helen. And then my dad writes, he's like, this was a good book, and the author ain't bad either. And that was 1987. And then my Aunt Pam, who, she and I have a connection too. This is a book I'm learning. This is a very good book. I'm learning a lot from it. July 13th, 1988. So I think that's awesome. So I find all these little tidbits. I haven't found many notes, but I mean, some of these are really old. It's just coming right out of here. The pages, I mean, but I haven't found any notes other than little dedications and things, but I really appreciate it. It's pretty awesome. Here's another one. My family really loves the whole Indian situation. But here's one called Sun Bear, and it was given to my grandmother from my Aunt Pam, who then my grandmother gave it to my dad, and then my dad sits there and writes, to my favorite girl, love you, Mom and Dad. So sweet. So interested in reading this one as well. Look at these charts, medicine wheel reference charts. Let me get in there so you can see it. Isn't that awesome? So way cool, awesome stuff. And then here's another one, aromatherapy for women and children. I have a cousin who's only 6 months older than I. She is learning her Reiki. So she's Reiki Master Level 1, and she's in training for Level 2 right now. So I wanted to share some of these books with her. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but I wanted to show you some little gems. Here's the Dictionary of Essential Oils by Wanda Steller. or Cellar, sorry. Medicine Wheel Earth Astrology, Sun Bear. So here's our Sun Bear again. Sun Bear and Wabun. I'm not sure. Let me see when this was made. When was this published? 1980. So those are definitely things I'm keeping on. And if it's something I can pass on to my cousin for her uses as well. This one I got a kick out of. This was actually early 90s. Essential Aromatherapy by Carol McGilvery and Jimmy Reed. Full color guide used to essential oils, relaxation, and pleasure. Ooh la la, pleasure. But the pictures in this are pretty awesome. I don't know. Here, try to see this situation. But they have got, you know, they're going to break down pine. They're going to break down rose, sage, you know, the different types of sages, the origins, rosemary, all kinds of stuff they've got going on in here. Pretty awesome. I love it. And then there's like massage techniques, stress factor, headaches, relationships, after body therapy, pregnancy, massaging. Ooh, got a little risque. Okay, maybe I should close that book. Anywho, lots and lots of books I will be uncovering here shortly, soon, when I have time. I'm not a reader. This is not a marathon for reading. So I usually keep books all around my home, and I pick one up and I'll read for like half an hour or whatever, put it down. Then I've got another one in another nook. I'll pick that up and read it and then bring it down. Now, I did some, what do you call it? Foraging. I was a foraging herby witch while I was up there on that mountain. If you saw the videos, you saw I had a lot to work with. But I had a really good time going to town, finding all different kinds of things. If you, Katie, no. Katie Fur wants to know what's going on, and so she's trying to get stuff. I was talking to several crows while I was there. Lots of crows on the property, and so they left me this little crow feather. I have crow feathers. I've got several that they left me, but this beautiful crow feather here. So I was talking with them as I was having morning coffee, and they were just giving me a show. They were too cute. Loved that. This is one of my hauls. Okay, California. If you don't know where you're getting your sage from, it's probably coming from California. So this is something that was picked right outside or up the hill, right outside my dad's house. Huge stalks of mountain white sage, California white mountain sage. These are some that I did just around the property. So you can imagine how big this mamma jamma bush was, and then I have dehydrated a ton more. And when I say a ton, I had a basket, a big, huge bag that I took back with me of stuff that I had hauled. I also picked olive branches. I got olive branches from the mountain. Thought that I would use them for, spell work and whatnot. If not, maybe make a little wreath out of them to put at my door. I've got these. Tell me what the heck these are. I have no clue, but I just thought that they were too awesome and that they were going to look really awesome in a witchy jar. But look at these guys. It's like, hello, Whoville. Look at that. Come on, focus. You can focus. Don't focus on me. Focus on it. Okay, it's not going to focus. All right, but there they are. There's little sticks of these things, and I think they came from a big maple tree. There's big, huge maple leaves as well. But I got that, and I also got some of the bark of the tree for spell work. Let's see these beautiful bark pieces. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So there's that. I also fell in love, and I had forgotten because I haven't been living in California for, oh my gosh, probably 17, almost 18 years, and I haven't gone back to like visit in the capacity that I did visit. I usually was running from this person's house to that person's house and didn't really have any time to like really connect. And that's been about 10 years. So I had forgotten all about the manzanita tree. If you don't know manzanita, you need to look up some manzanita. So manzanita has this beautiful red bark. It's this curly, well, it sheds off of the tree, and it then releases like this kind of is the top coat, if you will, of the manzanita bark, and then it really this sheds off, and then there's like this smooth kind of like whitish greenish yellowy sort of like bark that's left over. The manzanita bark, not this bark, but manzanita bark, the yellowy green kind of creamy color, is used for all different kinds of things. This is a super duper medicine tree. So I wanted to gather this for spell work in order for healing, all that other stuff. I don't suggest that you do anything other than spell work for this. Don't ingest this stuff. I will be sending out some love mail to some people, and I wanted to include some of these items, so I don't want everybody to, like, oh, let's just make it. But let me tell you what the other bark does for you. I kind of looked it up. So manzanita bark is awesome. The tannins in it, you boil it and you dry it, you make it a tea, you boil it, and the tannins in the manzanita real bark underneath the red stuff, the red bark stuff, actually kills the tannins. It has tannins in it, and it kills the microbes causing GI distress. So it can help with nausea and vomiting, UTIs, or any type of bladder infection, which is pretty awesome, and also gastric ulcers. I went further and looked at it, and I kind of am kicking myself now, because had I looked that up while I was there, I would have done much more foraging. They have these little like berry seed fruits on them that you can make into jams. It's great for de-stressing and all different kinds of stuff. So you could totally get that. And I didn't get any of the green bark as well either, because, well, one, it didn't feel right to take anything other than what the tree was already giving me and what was in season for it to give to me. So witches need to be mindful. It's nice to have all of these things, but you also have that connection with the earth. And if you're just basically raping it, it didn't give it to you willingly. So, I mean, what are you doing? You're raping the earth. Absolutely. So, I didn't get everything I wanted from the manzanita, but my dad says that he is going to send it to me when it is in season, and ripe fruit he will send to me that I can dry out and make into jams, and all kinds of things like that. And what else was the other thing? Oh, and you can also make wine. You can also make wine out of it too, which I thought was groovy. Okay, so I showed you some sage. I showed you all this stuff. You're wondering why this big trash bag is here. Let me tell you. Well, I haven't cleaned these yet, so I will show them to you sort of sparingly. But if you watched the video, there were peacocks. And so I have gotten peacock feathers that they gave to me. These are tail feathers, and they're beautiful. Beautiful tail feathers. Here's another one from a juvenile. I thought that was really cool for smudging feathers. So I intend on making a smudging fan out of these. And then they have these really kind of cool tail feathers. Look at that. Only on one side does it show, like this one's short, and then that one sticks out. It's very pretty. So that's the tail feathers from my peacock friends. And then, let's see. Yep, I sure do. So then I have some of these guys that they gave me. Beautiful. They were gorgeous. I'm telling you, if you haven't watched that video, you need to. It's pretty awesome. Okay. There was lots more that I got as well. So that was that. Okay, here's my feather. Here's another feather. My cousin and I have been trying to get fabric from my grandma's old clothes so that we can make a quilt. So I was gifted these pants that Grandma used to wear. It's kind of like little stretchy pants, but we have some other fabrics and whatnot that we're going to work through and just make little squares. And it's kind of like a velvet corduroy-ish kind of thing. We're going to make a quilt out of Grandma's clothes. So when we need a grandma, we can have a hug. It's kind of nice. Now, come with me to the dehydrator because there's lots going on there too. Da-da-da-da. Katie, say hello. Katie is busy trying to figure out my coffee and what's going on. That's all of the haul video that you'll see next time. Moving on. Here we go. I should probably turn on the light. Ooh, let there be light. Okay, more stuff. Welcome to my kitchen. I like spices. Could you tell? All right. Top off of the thing. This is a little flower that grew up there. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I need to do some research again. But, I mean, take a look at that. Can you see it? Where's the camera on here? But they're like little white little flowers, like little bunched up or whatever. There's really no smell to them, but they were just way cool, and so I had to grab some of those. I was told to do that. Then there is a mountain lavender. This is a type of lavender from the mountain. Let me put you like that so you can see it better. They have these big stalks, and they had little purpley flowers on them, but those have fallen off. But oh, it smells really nice. Amazing. So now the next tray. Oh, there's more lavender. And then some little pieces of sage. And then this was rosemary from my grandmother's garden. And ta-da-ta-da! I made lots of these little sage mini bundles, you know, just from my clippings and my trimming. So means I got lots of sage, lots of little sages, but they're lovely. So my dad said, hey, if you ever need sage, please let me know, and I'll, you know, send me a big old bag and I'll fill it up and send it back to you. So that's pretty much, that's what I did for my trip. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think what else could possibly be going on. I think that's it, y'all. I think we're ready to do the haul video. Sneak peek. And Katie is still wanting my coffee. All right, Katie, say bye, folks. No? Sniff, sniff? Sniff, sniff. All right, you guys. Have a good one. Bye.